Drama, drama, drama. Yeah, it's one of these videos where we're going to be talking about other people's personal problems and relationships. Great. Honestly, it's really sad though. Like, it's depressing. Both YouTubers, Jaclyn Glenn and Richie from Social Repose, recently had a very bad breakup that spread across social media, with both parties making response videos to one another, Jaclyn uploading hers first to vent and convey her feelings about the situation, and Richie then followed suit in releasing a video a few hours later. He gives us his opinion and follow-up on what Jaclyn had to say, which many people did not take too kindly to, as his video received over 46,000 dislikes as of now, and we'll explore later why. Now, as a fan of both of these people, watching them for some time, discovering them separately and then seeing them come together, it's a very odd thing to witness this whole thing as a spectator, seeing it all happen at once. That being said, I get this is shit that my big nose should probably stay out of, really. It doesn't concern me. But as a fan of both, seeing how this has turned into a big fucking spectacle, it doesn't really matter. I might as well just throw my shit opinion out there and have a little chat about this, cause it's pretty ridiculous, come on. So Jaclyn uploaded a video titled "I'm an Idiot," in which she tells us about what happened between her and Richie, what the preamble to this all was, and honestly, it's pretty sad watching it.
There is this girl that he dated briefly, I think, a few years ago. He reconnected with her after his last relationship ended, and they stayed in touch. And a few months after we started dating, like officially started dating, he slept with her. And they stayed in touch throughout our entire relationship, the entire relationship. And on his most recent tour, the first date, it was, I think, New Jersey or New York, I don't know exactly where, okay? First date on the tour, she went to his show and he pulled her into a bathroom. For a quickie. I know this because I went through his phone and read his texts, and no, I don't feel sorry about it. I had some suspicions. I was not expecting to find this.
So Richie cheated on Jaclyn with an ex-girlfriend who he also cheated on before, which is always a great feeling when you're with someone and they cheat on you with an ex. Been there, felt that, fuck that. Throughout her video, you can tell she's very genuine and heartbroken over it, and you feel bad watching it, you really do. She continues to go in depth about it, talking about how she feels.
But I read the back and forth, him asking her to come back to the car, or I don't even remember, but it was for a quickie. And she was like, "That's fine, as long as you don't mess up my makeup." And then a couple weeks later, he was at my apartment with his crew, with his tour manager and a drummer, and I bought an air mattress and I tried to make my apartment nice and I accommodated everyone. I cooked for them. I was really happy. I slept with him. Like, I missed him so much, and I was so miserable in the time that we were apart that I can't imagine him during that time screwing around. Like, my brain does not understand that at all. I was so happy. I was so in love with him, and I thought it was both ways.
I mean, it's just kind of fucked up. Like, throughout this entire thing, Jaclyn's the one who gets the shit end of the stick here and is sideswiped by this entire ordeal. Personally, she doesn't deserve any of it, really. Emotionally and mentally, it's a fucked up position to be in.
But there wasn't any like, "Oh my God, babe, I am so sorry. I love you so much. How can I make this up to you? Like, I know you're never gonna forgive me, and like, I understand if you want to leave," but none of that. None of that. Not a hug. I don't know. I don't know what I expected. So yeah, I left and we broke up. And I'm at my dad's. And I'm sometimes okay and I'm sometimes really not. I know I look like hell, and I can't really get through 5 minutes without like starting to cry about something, and or thinking about like a sweet moment. But it's fucking weird because even all the sweet moments that I remember hurt because I'm like, wow, that wasn't enough. I wasn't enough. Like I tried, but it wasn't enough for him. And even though we had all those good moments, they're all corrupted now for me because there was this underlying other thing going on that if you really, I just can't, if you love somebody, you can't say you love somebody and do that.
I think a lot of us can empathize with this and what she's going through. Now, I understand Jaclyn doesn't need defending here. It's similar to when I made a video in defense of Boogie2988. Similar to him, I know they're perfectly capable of fending for themselves. However, where there's bullshit to be had, we gotta sniff it out from time to time, because the response from Social Repose on this was, well, how should I say it, kind of shit. Let's take a look at some of it.
Yeah, I fucked up.
You done fucked it up!
Now, I'm well aware that making this video and talking about this and responding to Jaclyn's recent video, I'm definitely going to lose some fans. I'm going to lose some friends. You know, but there's two sides to every story. I wouldn't really call this a defense. I understand what I did. I understand that it's pretty wrong and heinous, and like I said, I messed up. So I guess I would like to explain some things. I just finished watching Jaclyn's video and all the brutal graphic details that she explained to everyone.
So right here, right, you sound a bit annoyed by that, like brutal graphic details? I don't seem to recall her going into brutal graphic details about it. Not on Twitter, not in her video. So she said you cheated on her with an ex of yours very early into the relationship. Yes, she looked through your phone and saw your text back and forth with her and other people. So to be fair, it's not brutal nor graphic, I guess, unless you're talking about the quickie in the bathroom that she mentioned, but you don't ever deny it in this video. So if you did it, you did it. There's nothing really graphic about it, nothing really in explicit detail. Also, who cares if she spilled the beans on something nefarious that you were trying to keep hidden? But back to you saying brutal and graphic, I just don't know why you chose to go with those words specifically to describe it, but okay, proceed.
So I'd like to give some very descriptive details of my own, not to slander Jaclyn or anything, just to kind of, I guess, give you a deeper context on why I did what I did. I do deeply regret it. You know, I feel like Jaclyn and we overall had a really fun and happy relationship. The happy parts were great. It kind of was a classic case of social media, showing the best parts of your relationship on social media, so everyone thinks everything's just peaches and roses all the time, and it's just not. It's a lie. We were happy, but there's obviously a dark side to everything, clearly.
So did social media really make you slip your dick into other women whilst also being with Jaclyn, being, quote, happy during that time, but still needing to fuck a previous woman that you tried and failed with? That's a large amount of salt in the wound too, by the way, an ex. I don't know about you, but I'm a person who can't get back with an ex personally. I don't know, I can't. I'll still be their friend and everything, but I don't get how you can do that when you're dating someone. Oh wait, no, sorry, correction. While you're married to someone, but at least you regret it now when it becomes a public spectacle for everyone to see. Like your conscience and that regret should have kicked in much faster, yes? If you truly did regret what you did to her, which I'm very skeptical about. You make it seem like Jaclyn was just the rebound relationship, so...
You know, everyone was incredibly devastated when they heard that we had broken up, because I did cheat on her. Just like I did my ex-girlfriend. which everyone knows about because of our best friend. And it's interesting because right after I ended that relationship, we finally closed the book on that one, and I wasn't faithful to Tyla either. I made a video because her and Onision were ganging up on me, and I said, I will never, ever, ever have a public relationship again. And then a couple months later, not even a couple months, it was like a month later, I met Jaclyn, and she was perfect.
I mean, if it was so perfect, then why fuck it up, you know? It's a case of self-sabotaging here then. Especially if this has been a reoccurring thing with previous exes. Just saying, maybe time to implement some change here. Yes, maybe just a little.
She was an atheist. I don't know, she cared so much about me and just everything that I did, and I did care about her. And I don't know, everything just made sense. But clearly I have a lot of deep-seated issues. Just look at the stuff that I do. I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of things that I haven't addressed. And she kind of took me on with the thought that she could fix me, and that, there's a lot of good parts that she saw in me. And I commend her for that, but at the same time, everyone did warn her, and...
So she was warned, huh? I really despise that shit. Like, clear red flag there if someone has to come with warnings, sure, but don't make it sound as if though that's on her. She knew what she was getting into. I hate that. Such a dodgy excuse to use there for someone not wanting to change who they are, because why bother, right? Also, why are you smiling randomly throughout this video, man? Talking about how you cheated on your girlfriend openly, having these dramatic pauses. I mean, compare this to what we watched earlier.
I'm so pissed. But I miss him so much still, even though I'm mad. I don't want to hate him. I don't have like an off switch for the feeling that I had for him. Because, you're with someone for like a year. And then you find out something, and then in a day all of that changes. And you can't just... in 24 hours, be okay.
And I commend her for that, but at the same time, everyone did warn her, and...
Yeah, can tell huge glaring differences in tone and mannerisms, huh?
I don't know, it just sucks that I proved them all right. I did. And I couldn't stay faithful, and here we are. I should have just broken it off early and just not been a shithead about it, but I didn't. I always kind of felt this unbalance in the relationship even early on, which terrified me, and I could never bring it up to her. All the way, we dated for 11 months, and I could never talk to her about it just because I was so afraid, because she got so attached to me so quickly. It's almost like she just, after month 2 or 3, she was like ready to settle down with me and ready to get a house, and it just seemed so perfect. And I was like, what are you doing? What do you...
Now see, right here is where everyone can completely call bullshit. Because not only does Jaclyn not strike me as the type of person to be very irrational in that manner, but you deleted a comment left by Jaclyn. Here it is, by the way, it was saved, I found it on Twitter. It had over 300 likes on it at the time, so plenty of people remembered this. Let's just read this. I absolutely did not ask to move into a house with you 3 months in, LOL. You are the first person that brought up moving in together, and the plan for that wasn't until mid-next year. We were in a long-distance relationship. The only way to make that work is to have some vague idea of when the distance would be closed. That's the only reason I ever brought it up, but thanks for trying to make me sound irrational though. Especially coming from the guy who kept calling me his wife and who bought me a ring to wear on my left ring finger. Do not play like you were absolutely perpetrating the idea of real commitment. This was never a conversation we had until after I caught you cheating. Fear of commitment didn't drive you to cheat? Are you kidding? You were in another girl's pants a month after we started. You made fun of one of my exes for failing at commitment as though you were above that. You bring me on a UK/European tour with plans to stay extra days in Paris. You were going to take me to your family Thanksgiving. You gave me no indication of this being a problem ever. You discredited everyone who warned me, and then you sit there and act like it's shocking to you that I didn't listen to them. You played a role in that. Also, do not call cheating a mistake. If you felt any remorse, you wouldn't have continued to do it. You didn't slip and fall, you made a choice. You made that choice over and over again with no regard for my feelings. If I didn't see those texts, you would have kept doing it. That is not a mistake. That is intent. And yet you can't find this comment on his video. Weird. Why did you need to delete that? Like, let's just say in an alternate reality here that she's lying about this. Why would you still delete it? Why wouldn't you respond to it and go, that's false, that's misinformation, or message her saying, what's with this shit? Why are you lying? Which, according to Jaclyn, she did attempt to message you privately about this. Like, I don't understand the purpose of you silencing her on it when she responds to you. If you're trying to make yourself look better in any way, shape, or form, you're not doing a good job of it. Like, which part made you realize that you should have broken up with her beforehand? When you fucked your ex? Yeah, maybe, just maybe, since it didn't register the first time, you'd think it would after the other times you were fucking behind her back. Just saying.
Of course I went along with it because I'm an idiot. And I'm clearly not very good with relationships. And I should have ended it early. I mean, obviously we had amazing time together, even all the way up until last week, but there's no excuse for not being faithful to someone you promised monogamy to. So there's no excuse for that. And, you know, maybe I'll try going to therapy. I don't know. I told her I don't agree with therapy. Because I've tried it before and I don't feel like it works. You know, we had a talk about my depression and how I should maybe get medicated. I also don't agree with that. And I think the best solution to make sure I don't do this again and I don't hurt anyone else is to just not date anymore. Not for a long time.
So that's the solution here, is to take a hiatus on having sex with multiple people at the same time and stop manipulating the feelings of others for an extended period of time until the inevitable restart of it, justifying and excusing yourself on why the extreme actions like that needed to happen. Basically coming back to square one with another person. That's your plan? I don't know. I mean, it could work, but it doesn't sound like it'd be that great of a solution, wouldn't you say? Not trying to fucking lecture you or to belittle you here, but come on. Now that he's a big rock star, he's gotta swing his dick to all the ladies and start breaking hearts. Gotta keep that cliche and recipe for disaster alive and well, eh, Richie?
It's not worth it. It's not worth watching these decent people, whether it be Jaclyn or Isla. Obviously I dated Jaclyn a lot longer and hurt her a lot more. I can't be in relationships just because I can't do it. And clearly I don't have the restraint for it. Maybe I have a sex problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd scoff at that statement too if I said that out loud. I mean, whatever, if you want to say you have a sex problem, but it's much like when someone with a drinking problem goes, well, I'm an alcoholic. Okay, is that just the excuse now? Is that okay? That makes it fine? Are you going to try and better yourself on it, or have you labeled yourself a lost cause and have just given up? I'm going to just play this clip from BoJack Horseman real quick. It feels rather appropriate here.
You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing shitty things and then feel bad about yourself like that makes it okay. You need to be better.
I know, and I'm sorry, okay? I was drunk, and there was all this pressure with the Oscar campaign. But now that it's over, I...
No, BoJack, just stop. You are all the things that are wrong with you. It's not the alcohol, or the drugs, or any of the shitty things that happened to you in your career, or when you were a kid. It's you. All right? It's you. Fuck, man. What else is there to say?
What it comes down to is just don't make promises you can't keep. And I made a promise I couldn't keep. And it is devastating her right now. And I have to live with that for the rest of my life. You know, I think ultimately we just wanted different things, and I couldn't reconcile with that, and I decided to be a child, and she wants to be an adult and, you know, be a real person, and I guess I just wasn't ready to do that, and that's what led me to talk to one of my ex-girlfriends. So I just would like to say that I'm sorry to anyone that looks up to me or that follows me. I feel... Jeez.
Richie, if it keeps bothering and distracting you, turn off the phone!
I kind of lost my way along at some point with this channel, at least in the past 6 months. Originally it was all about art and music and kind of statements that I wanted to make, and instead it just kind of turned into videos highlighting my relationships in my personal life, which ultimately that's not why I do this. That's not why. And she made a point in her video talking about how even a couple days ago when she had gone through my phone and found those things, that I couldn't stop talking about the tour, and that I couldn't just turn off for a couple hours and just talk about our relationship. And it's clearly I'm a careerist.
Didn't you hear what Aaron Paul had to say earlier?
Or any of the shitty things that happened to you in your career.
I mean, I understand wanting to pursue your career and concentrating on that instead of wanting to focus on a relationship. You're more than willing to do that if that's what you want to do. However, the way you went about trying to achieve that was very stupid. You didn't need to cheat on her. You didn't need to marry her, especially if you were just going to cheat on her anyway. This was a path that could have been easily prevented had the helmsman not be a complete incompetent boob.
I'm so deeply entrenched in social repose just as an entity that it comes first. It comes before all my love and relationships and even family to an extent. This is my life. I've chosen it, and I put my all into it. And you know, some might look at me like I'm a sociopath for doing that, but I guess I'm really passionate about it, and I'm a little hurt that she kind of broadcasted everything. I'm not hurt that she talked about the cheating. I knew she would have to talk about that at some point, but to go into such graphic detail feels a little unnecessary.
Again, explain the detail. Explain why you don't like that, why that bothers you. You're increasingly getting more annoyed with that and are getting more offended now. Why are you pissed at that? Because you got caught because she said what happened? Nah, I doubt it's that at all. I mean, this is a pretty half-assed attempt of a sincere, remorseful apology.
But it's out there, so can't stop it. And yeah, I guess I'm sorry. I'm sorry I let you guys down. I'm going to do better. I'm going to make more art and more music. And if you don't want to follow me anymore because you think I'm a shitty person, or because I'm disgusting, or because you can't stand the thought of ever watching me again because of what I did to Jaclyn, I can't make you stay. But I promise you I'll do better with my videos and my content. And you know, it's always important to strive to just be better when you know that you fucked up, and you know that you've ruined somebody. And I can't take back what I did, but I can look in the future and prevent it from ever happening again.
Oh, thank you. Glad to know you're willing to try and make yourself better for the next relationship. Hopefully we don't hear about how you cheated on her multiple times with other women.
For all the people that want to shit all over me, eat your heart out. I deserve it. I deserve all of it. She deserves no hate for any of this, and I didn't mean to send her any hate. I've been just very emotional because touring is hard, and I'm sorry that those tweets saying that I'm alone out here may have sent her hate in some way because they didn't know the context of the situation. I didn't mean it that way, and she deserves all the love in the world. So that's all I have to say. And yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we can agree there, and here's my thing. I'm not going to go as far and to wish his career to burn or wish for his demise or anything like that. I'm not going to go as far as some people, but it has definitely called into question a lot about Social Repose, his character, him as a person. Now he needs to reevaluate himself, and if he truly wants to work on himself and wants to change, please do so. But you drop the ball hard and people aren't willing to throw sympathy cards out when you need them, especially when you blame it on mental illness or depression or your job, shifting the blame to others along with yourself. Acting like that makes cheating excusable, which leads me to my next point. Here's a video from
Just one moment.
this, reacting to the drama between Jaclyn and Social Repose. Now get ready and strap in because this is so dumb. This video from Onision is completely idiotic and long-winded as usual, so let's see what this withered hobgoblin has to say, shall we? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just, mentally preparing myself again for this shit.
So this is the live stream that is not just expected by a lot of people. It is the live stream that is absolutely necessary considering the history. So a long time ago, I worked with someone named Social Repose. He said he was a huge fan. He said he would die happy or something like that in a tweet if he could collaborate with Owl City and or Onision. And so he contacted Lainey, and Lainey forwarded Social Repose to me. And I said, sure, I don't know anything about Social Repose at the time. So I figured I would collaborate with him because, whatever, right? It's just another collaboration. It's cool. So I make the emo video, and that was fun. That was great. But over time, I learned that this guy is actually awful. I made videos about how he's awful. I hung out with his ex-girlfriend for like a week, and she says all these things, and she's blackmailed by him. He openly admits on a live stream that he blackmailed her, and he blackmailed her, so I would stop making videos about him, even though he's made more videos about me than I made about him, according to my record. You can look it up yourself if you want to look up all the videos by me regarding Social Repose. A lot of them are his, the majority.
So it's always been a contest now, really, has it been? Let's tally up each one and see who has more. You've both talked about each other plenty on social media, on YouTube, Twitter, fuck, it's absurd, Greg. But yet no, you don't participate in that one bit, huh? You're pulled in like the innocent little fuck you are every time, it seems, even though you're the common factor in it, but let's just ignore that.
Based on everything I've looked up. So Social Repose makes more videos about me and then tries to blackmail his girlfriend for me to stop making videos about him, right? Ex-girlfriend. So she runs through my house crying. And I've said all this stuff before. And guys, this is a live stream. It's not, if someone's lying, they got to like stumble to figure out what their story was because they don't remember it, because it's so fleeting. When you experience something, you tend to remember it. So as I'm saying this live, you could probably understand that, yes, as usual, I'm being honest.
Man, do you ever stop stroking that ego for a second? Can you go 5 minutes without needing to praise yourself? Wow, what a great human you are. We get it. You have a superiority complex. Can we move on to your point now?
So his ex-girlfriend's running through my house crying hysterically. One of the worst cries I've seen, okay? So obviously he's done an enormous amount of emotional torture on this girl, or that or she just has a mental problem, maybe both. Who knows? Anyway, so they wind up leaving shortly after he threatens them. It could be due to other things. I don't know. There was 2 things going on at the same time, so I don't know why she left. But I do know that she made a video saying, "Dear my ex-boyfriend, I don't want you to use me like this. I don't want you to abuse me like this," etc. And then he made a video the next day, Social Repose, saying that... to my ex-girlfriend, warning, I'm basically a piece of crap, is what his video was, because it was just him admitting to all these terrible things.
Well, hey, it seems like you and him are in the same boat at sucking ass at relationships, which, hey, a lot of us aren't good at either. But, Greg, you've had a long history of fucking over people in relationships. A very long, explored, exposed history. So I don't understand the moral high ground you're trying to establish here. I really don't. I'm not really defending social repose either here. Just keep that in mind. But it's Onision. Give me a fucking break with this.
And he later on allegedly said that it was artistic. You know, like him saying these things like the day after his ex-girlfriend who dumped him releases a video. He was saying that, oh, his response was just artistic and not at all based on reality, even though he was just confirming what his ex-girlfriend implied. Anyway, so that wasn't enough for social repose fans a lot of social repose fans, to see the obvious, which is that he's terrible, right? He's a terrible human.
I'm not as much of a fan of him as I once was, but you've treated your exes terribly as well, Greg. You taking this stance right now is so boggling to me. It makes no sense. Like, oh, my enemy did something bad, all the heat's on him now, therefore I'm completely absolved of what I did. Nice try, Greg, but it doesn't quite work like that.
So what I've been told is that recently he went on tour and cheated on his current girlfriend. Now let me tell you about his current girlfriend. His current girlfriend, or actually I guess they're not dating anymore since they broke up, but his most recent girlfriend, I invited to collaborate with me because I liked one of her atheist videos. Like, she was calling out people in front of like Comic-Con or something who were really religious, and I thought she was funny. So I invited her to come over and collaborate with me as well as 2 other people. I think it was 2 males. And she did. And I paid for all their meals. So they stayed under my roof. And then the betrayal later on came into play. Where you give someone this cool opportunity, because at the time I was more popular than Jaclyn.
I love your snake in the grass mindset, Greg. I really do. Like, don't fucking invite people to your home and give them things, pretending to be nice, and then expect them to owe you one, right? Like, that's not what nice guys do. Give people things and then expect something in return, especially when you're acquaintances at the time. Yeah, what a nice guy. Welcome to the slimy, smelly underbelly of Onision, ladies and gentlemen.
You give someone this cool opportunity, and, I find out what a piece of crap social repose is, and I tell everybody that I'm associated with, listen, if you associate with social repose, I don't know if we could be cool, because this guy admitted, bragged, whatever. I just know he's a piece of crap, and he's toxic to, like, everyone he encounters.
Same claims have been made to you, my friend, how toxic and vile you are, yet that's supposedly not true, right? Those claims are fake. You don't need to take accountability, or at least you're going to pretend to take accountability, but everyone else needs to, though, right? Got it, because Greg knows best, guys, being the arbiter of morals and truth, after all.
Most everyone he encounters. Like, I knew his ex-friend, I knew his ex-girlfriend, I knew his soon-to-be girlfriend, which is Jaclyn. Let's talk about Jaclyn. Jaclyn has a history of fraud. Like, she did a video, allegedly. You can look this up too, Jaclyn Glenn fraud. She did a video of her almost verbatim, or sometimes verbatim, saying exactly what someone wrote down, pretending like that work was hers.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring this up. This is something that loads of people are drudging back up, Jaclyn's plagiarizing. Now, this feels more appropriate to bring up if we were talking about the BuzzFeed thing. Sure, fine, understandable, but seems out of place here. She did do it, that's true, but she has addressed it multiple times, apologized for it multiple times. I didn't agree with what she did, and of course I was disappointed. But that doesn't bear any relevancy here when it comes to what happened between her and Richie. We'll bring up your past shit, Greg, because you like painting up the past and being dodgy on shit. Plus it pertains to the conversation, since you like pointing that judgmental finger wherever you please. But if you're gonna bring up Jaclyn's plagiarizing, then we need to bring up your scamming. You making multiple YouTube accounts to amass more wealth, more views, more subscribers, more patrons, treating your fans like shit if they don't do what you want, guilt-tripping them to giving you more money because of your financial troubles. Oh no, lies though, right? Any negativity and criticism towards you is just false, just conjured bullshit conducted by haters, clearly.
Okay? So when you do that, you're a liar. Like, you are misrepresenting the truth. You are acting like you were responsible. You ever meet somebody who puts their name on your work? It's infuriating, where they say, oh, everyone, I did this. They're stealing from you. They're a thief and they're a liar. So Jaclyn Glenn admitted this to me. She said, yeah, that was a messed up part of her life, and she was apologetic for it. So I understood. But, still deep down thinking this girl's a total fraud, right? Because who plagiarizes? I don't like plagiarizers. Make your own stuff. Anyway, so I ask her not to associate with Social Repose. She refuses. She acts like he's a great guy at the time. She just doesn't understand. She says she wants to give people a chance. And she uses me as an example. She's like, people told me not to hang out with you, and I hung out with you, and everything was fine. And I was like, well, I'm a different example. I have videos out there that are reasons for people to hate me, like my stance on diets. I have very strong opinions, so of course people aren't going to like me. But Social Repose doesn't have a lot of opinions out there. He tends to actually look at what people like and then say what he knows they want to hear, which is why he's made so many videos about me, because he knows that's going to be successful, and taking a position of opposition to me is going to benefit him.
I mean, if that's your theory, but I've heard this theory before used on several people, Jaclyn included, because it seems like any detractors of yours or anyone who has slight problems with what you have to say or do just seems to benefit off you because you're so successful. That's why you need multiple channels to stay afloat, because you're just so successful. But sure, buddy, keep living with that delusion.
Definitely. Look at most anyone who takes a position against me. It benefits them. So there's some people who literally only care about success and don't actually care about saying what needs to be said or saying what they truly feel. Regardless, Jaclyn said that she wanted to give him a fair chance like she gave me a fair chance by collaborating with me. And I say, well, that's unacceptable, and I stopped talking to her. Like, I'm done with Jaclyn.
Oh yeah, so done with her. So done, in fact, that you kept having to tweet at her, making videos talking about her, messaging her. Yeah, but we're done with her. Got it. That's the story this time around.
Now, I don't really do that anymore, the whole disassociation with people for associating with other people thing, just because it's not exactly fair on certain levels. But I will not associate with those people myself if I think that they're a problem.
Well, it's completely unfair, period. At least you're willing to have some leeway with it, but seriously, if someone wants to associate with someone and you don't want them to because you personally didn't like the other person in question, I'm sorry, but you can't force them not to. If they choose to, they're gonna do it. You giving them ultimatums is bullshit. It really is, because that's what happens when you're a fucking control freak.
Anyway, so what does Jaclyn do once she starts getting with Social Repose? The hate videos start rolling in. The anti-Onision hate videos. Okay? Social Repose is making them. Jaclyn's making them. I'm making the occasional video about them, oftentimes responding to their hate towards me.
Yeah, keeping good on that promise, that whole I'm done with Jaclyn. Oh, but they talked about you and made fun of you, therefore you can break your vow of silence whenever it suits you. Cool, neat. Glad to know it'll only take a video or two to set your little fuse off. Awesome. Fluctuating. Gotta love it.
They made a video like saying, oh, we sent Onision a house key, which was creepy. And they also repeatedly imply that I want to get with Jaclyn. But let me make one thing clear. Jaclyn's single now. I still don't want to get with her, okay? Never wanted to get with Jaclyn. Not interesting. Not something that I want, okay?
Then why were you so fixated on talking about her breast implants over and over and over again? Because it wasn't like once that you mentioned her implants or anything, like in passing. You were pretty creepy in how you were going about that yourself. And even in this, you're trying to defend yourself on that. Like, it's okay. No one gives a fuck if you want to get with Jaclyn or not. But keep defending yourself on that same point and keep reminding us that you don't have this stinky boner for her.
And I'm going to be blunt about this. This isn't what people want to hear. People don't like unfiltered honesty, but I'm not concerned with that. What I'm concerned with is telling you guys exactly what you want to, what you need to hear. Okay? I need to tell you the truth because a lot of other people won't. When I met Jaclyn, she was too tall.
Okay, well, this kind of branched off a bit, didn't it? So she's too tall for you, or at least back then she was too tall for you. According to Google, she's 5'10", and you're 5'11", so I don't understand how that's too tall. Sure, she's technically tall, yeah, but not by much. Point of what I'm trying to get at is that your standards are so absurdly laughable. Like you complained before that Jaclyn getting a boob job would ruin her, that she was fine the way she was. But now we get this, oh, she was too tall for my tastes. Or well, sorry, past Onision thought that, because it's very easy to apply minute traits and characteristics to your past self and blame it on your past self. Guy goes all over the fucking place in this.
And it wasn't like I was saying like I wanted to date her or I was thinking about dating her or anything like that. But when I met Jaclyn, she was this really tall girl. And I'm not into tall girls. It's nothing against tall girls. Tall girls can be attractive. I know this contradicts something I tweeted in the past. They can be attractive in the sense that they could have a proportionate face, etc. And the reason it contradicts previous tweets is I was just saying I was angry. Okay? And at that time, I said what I believed to be true. But the problem is that when I thought about the greater context, there are some tall women that I think are attractive. Like that really tall blonde woman from Game of Thrones. She has such a beautiful personality that I could look at her and say, yeah, I don't care about your height because you have such an amazingly beautiful personality. But Jaclyn at the time, I wasn't attracted to her personality. She was tall, and that's not something I'm into. Okay, like this is the thing with love. And I didn't think about love when I was making those tweets. This is the thing about love, though. If you really love someone, their physical body like is totally pretty much irrelevant. Okay? You guys should know that. Like, if someone has a beautiful personality and they're a little heavy or a little skinny for your taste, if they have a beautiful personality, you should give them a chance because you might have the best life ever with them, okay? Personality is like 99% of surviving a relationship, it seems. The beauty just goes away. And what's crazy is when you date somebody who's just beautiful and they don't have a great personality, they're going to become ugly very soon. You're not going to see that beauty anymore because that's how it works. I don't know why it works that way, but it just does. So anyway, I see Jaclyn. She's tall. She's skinny. I'm not into super skinny girls, whatever. I'm just being blunt and honest as usual. I know people are going to be mad at me for this.
Well, yes, because one reason Richie didn't want Jaclyn was because she was too skinny, not thick enough for him. I mean, I don't understand this retard mentality you two have that she's too skinny, cause Jaclyn Glenn is fine. She isn't fucking anorexic or anything. Like, look at these two troll-faced fucks spouting this dribble. So full of themselves, a tale of two idiots.
I know this doesn't serve me, but I'm still gonna say it because it's honest, okay? I don't give a fuck about people loving me if it means they're gonna love me for some stuff that's not true, all right? So, Jaclyn, skinny, tall, not attracted to her. I don't even think we were poly at the time, so I wasn't even thinking about any concept of ever dating Jaclyn on any level, okay? But Jaclyn and Richie decided to make this video saying, I want to marry Jaclyn. Disgusting. Why, okay? At this point, Jaclyn's personality is so unattractive to me, and she already wasn't attractive to me physically, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you have zero credibility and you won't let go of this point, making this look worse for yourself, making it look like you want Jaclyn even more.
And again, she's single now, still don't want to date her. Proves my point, or at least helps prove my point. Regardless, Jaclyn makes a lot of hate videos with Richie about me. But then, Jaclyn decides to also make fun of Richie's ex. What's with that? Why would you make fun of someone's ex? Why would you? Literally, she sat down in front of, her camera and watched the video of the girl saying all the torture she went through with her previous boyfriends, how she was cheated on, lied to, etc. through her previous boyfriends. Jaclyn's sitting there watching this, smirking, amused by it. What kind of sadistic monster sits down and laughs at the suffering of the person you're dating's ex?
I don't know, what kind of monster films his ex-girlfriend during an argument with the cops being involved, or films them having a fucking breakdown? Like, yeah, I'm not saying they're 100% in the clear, obviously. They fucked up, they're human. We've all fucked up regardless of what others may say, despite several warnings.
Like, literally looks at them and their honest story about the horrible things they go to, things that Jaclyn could relate to on her previous relationships. And she's eating her own, making fun of this girl. Okay, so we have Jaclyn, a history of plagiarism, okay? We have her sadistically making fun of someone suffering like she no doubt is probably suffering now, okay? Like, and it's someone who was warned about this person on so many levels. She was warned in the video where he admits what he did. And she was warned by the ex. She was warned by me, who had met the guy and had cut ties with him. Like, I used the analogy on Discord. I said, there's one thing where a kid touches an oven and he gets burned. He didn't know any better, right? But what if that oven or stovetop made a video admitting it's hot, like very too hot to touch? The oven or stovetop is admitting that it will burn you, and it's bragging about it, saying, don't touch me. Just like he did in his video, like, dear future girlfriend, don't date me or whatever. Don't be my girlfriend. It's so pathetic. But if they made a video warning that child, and they heard the parent saying, don't touch that oven, and the child still touches that oven despite the oven itself saying, don't touch me, literally communicating that, it's just bizarre that anyone would feel sorry for that person at that point. And I, in the past, have not listened to people. So understand that I'm coming from a perspective of somebody who was stupid in relationships, okay? I was stupid in the past, and I had what I had coming because I was asking for it. I got cheated on. She got pregnant with someone else's baby while cheating on me. I deserved that pain I went through. It was a horrible, life-crippling pain, okay? I could barely physically function. That's how intense the emotional pain was. But I'm not going to look back at myself and say nobody should have said I told you so. Everyone should have said I told you so because I should have listened.
Here's the thing, Greg. Here's the thing. Even if you're right, which you are in a few things here, Richie's behavior, the warning about his intent, yeah, you're right. I'm more than willing to concede that to you. But just because you may be right doesn't stop you from being an asshole, doesn't stop you from being a dick. If you want to bask in what you'd like to call honesty, be my guest, but you wedging yourself into the situation like a square peg in a round hole is sad and completely transparent. Doesn't matter though, you'll get your victory, you get your tally mark, that's all that matters, because you're right about an online relationship going down the shitter. Wow, what intuition, what insight you have, Greg. Color me impressed that you were able to predict the unpredictable.
There were so many people, so many fans of mine that were like, dude, don't get back with this chick. She's toxic. She's horrible. Some people even said they were going to stop watching me because I got back with that girl. Okay? And I didn't listen. That was on me. That's called accepting responsibility so in the future you can make better decisions. Right? Anyway, so Jaclyn doesn't listen. Right? And so she's ignoring me, who was a friend at the time. She's doing all these other things that I've talked about. But on top of that, at some point, she decides to attack Lainey, my spouse. She was transphobic about Lainey. Okay? And I want to say something about Lainey. Lainey didn't want me to do this broadcast. Lainey didn't want me to talk about Jaclyn because Lainey feels bad for Jaclyn. Lainey's an amazing person. Lainey feels so much. Okay? Lainey didn't want me to talk about Jaclyn because Lainey knew that I would be aggressive towards Jaclyn. And the reason I'm aggressive towards Jaclyn is because Jaclyn literally got hundreds, I kid you not, hundreds of thousands of people to hate me even more than they already do.
Ah, so it's because you're vindictive is why you're making this, is because you're petty. I mean, hey, never put that past you. Just glad we had to wait 14 fucking minutes for you to tell us the true reason you're doing this. Like, Jaclyn may have an influence in those people's ideas about you, I guess, but many do. Many talk about you in both good and bad lights, so you can't strictly blame that on Jaclyn. Not only that, but your actions as well have gotten people to dislike you. Again, you can factor in many reasons why hundreds of thousands of people dislike you. But her, like many others, just showed the shit you were doing and exposed it to everyone. So don't paint it like it's been a coordinated attack on you based off nothing.
Why? Because I was defending Jaclyn. Because I was telling Jaclyn what Jaclyn needed to hear. So let's get more to the fraud thing. Jaclyn, apparently, I haven't seen the video. I don't like watching Jaclyn at all. But I was told by people who had seen the video that Jaclyn said, and I might do a reaction video. I don't know. I don't think I will. But if I'm gonna watch a video of a person I don't like, it's gonna be a reaction video.
Ah, yes, this. You not watching her video because you don't like her. Greg, I'm watching your video right now. I don't like you, but yet here we are. Here's me responding to your video that I watched for context, that I'm showing for context. I know it's so hard to sit on your ass and watch a video, but it makes me laugh because I remember in a debate you had with Jaclyn a while back, this very same problem with you was brought up. The problem with you responding to things you haven't watched.
Right. It sounds a little, it feels weird for me because you're going to make arguments based on assumptions from videos that you haven't watched. And if you had actually watched them, then you would understand. Or haven't watched. Maybe you have. I'm glad that I'm making hilarious jokes right now. But I feel like if you had watched my video, you would know.
I like what you're saying because it's true, and that it's so true that it's funny.
Guess you haven't learned that most basic of lessons, but why bother, right, Greg?
Because otherwise I don't get anything out of it. Like, it's just terrible for me. So, just wanted you to know that. But I was told that Jaclyn said that her ex-boyfriend was into thick girls, right? Social repose is into thick girls, okay? What did I say? What did I say? I said that she very likely got that boob job as a result of influence from her boyfriend. And what did Jaclyn do? She shamed me. She shamed the crap out of me for implying such a thing. So let's do the math, you guys. Jaclyn says that it had nothing to do with her boyfriend. She said that it was horrible for me to even suggest that. It took away her power as a woman and blah, blah, blah. More plagiarist type comments. You know, something a plagiarizer would say, where they don't accept the truth if it's not convenient for them. Okay? So she's going on this rant about how I'm anti-woman or whatever. And yet, it turns out, he actually did influence it, the boob job, just like I said. You know, how often am I going to call it like it is before you guys realize that, oh my God, this guy might actually know what he's talking about. He's met both these people. He knows how these people work to a good extent. Okay? So I said that Jaclyn Glenn, no coincidence that she got a boob job because she was dating this guy who he himself said, I will make you feel, he said something along the lines of, I'll make you feel worthless. I'll make you feel like you're not good enough. Okay? Sound familiar? Right? So I took these comments that he said prior to even dating her, that he would make his next girlfriend feel worthless, and that he makes people, he literally said, like, that if you're not perfect, you're, like, not even good enough. Like, that's a vague quote. I said literally, but it's a vague quote. If you go watch the video about his dear future girlfriend, you'll see that all of it adds up. Anyway, so she says that he's into thick girls, but had previously denied and insulted me for suggesting that he had any play in it, right? So she's admitting that her body wasn't good enough for him, and she gets a boob job. I imply that because of his comments where he says if you're not perfect, you're not good enough for him, and that he needs you to be absolutely perfect, otherwise you're trash. I imply that it's suddenly just the worst thing ever. And yet look at where we are now. Her admitting that
I like how you need to have a shit-eating grin there, because it's a contest, of course, and in your mind, you just won. But here's my thing with this, and I'll say this. You were right, but for the wrong reasons. You didn't go and try to warn Jaclyn about social repose to try and stop her from making a mistake, like the nice guy you are. You used it to try and belittle her, to besmirch her, to discredit her, to shame her. It's just funny how the intent sways depending on the fucking circumstances with you.
You know, passively. She can't admit it publicly. She can't. Either way, if me saying this, I win either way.
Okay, so I guess I was right. He does think it's a contest. You're not really a winner here, dude. Hate to tell you, but like other times you are a loser, especially when it's about a thing that doesn't even involve you. So I don't get it how you need to come out and declare a victory, planting this imaginary flag in the ground where it's unwanted, unsolicited, pretending to beat your chest in like it's a fucking game. It comes across as desperate, pathetic, and despicable. So, typical ingredients for Onision then, right?
I'm going to say she can't make an apology video saying that I was right. Either I'm wrong and she makes the apology video, I win, or I'm right, and I'm right. But I don't think she could possibly make an apology video because her ego is too gigantic.
Okay, well, no, I'm going to stop you right there real quick. Jaclyn doesn't need to make an apology video to you because you yourself have plenty of apology videos to make that are backing up, that are overdue at this point. Do you also expect her to make it now or soon? Because I don't think you're a priority to her right now, nor will be. So don't think she'd waste the time. But dude, you really want to talk about ego when yours is the size of Langdon Cobb's? Wow, the blatant stupidity oozing from this shit video stinks up a storm. I'm so glad, I am so glad this has over 5,000 dislikes. Gee, wonder why.
She now knows that most every hate video she made about me was complete bullcrap. Like most every video that had anything to do with defending him, or the whole sending a key to me, or the the boob job thing, it's all nonsense from a plagiarizer.
Again, gotta keep going back to the plagiarizing thing and keep trying to use it against her. Again, scammer, scam artist, I too can drudge up shit you did in the past, Greg. Wee! Isn't this fucking fun? Trying desperately to seek a moral high ground. Aren't you having fun, Greg?
There's only certain types of people plagiarize, okay? But the point I wanted to make in all this is a lot of you guys would be the bigger person and you would wait a while till you actually talked about what happened. But they would not do me the same, okay? These guys love hitting me when I'm down. They love it. Social Repose, Jaclyn Glenn, they will take every opportunity they can to rip me apart, okay? When I'm at my weakest. So I'm not here to say, Jaclyn Glenn is this or that, like, horrible swear word, okay? I'm not here to just rip her apart beyond just stating what I've observed. And I think at this point we can conclude that I'm a decent judge of character because I seem to be one of the only people who saw this for exactly what it was.
Oh yes, such a decent judge of character, yet has associated and has devoted time to these people who, to him, are just the worst. Yet he allows them to be a part of his life in some way, shape, or form. But at the same time is a good judge of character. Okay, sure.
And that's sad because it was so obvious. So, a person who does what Jaclyn Glenn did, to turn her back on me, who was a friend at the time, to plagiarize in the first place and then show that she's not even honest, like she didn't learn from it by doing this whole thick thing and saying just prior that it had nothing to do with him when we both know it did. I mean, she's in a lot of pain right now, no doubt. She's probably hurting like crazy. But I just wanted to establish that when somebody is this type of person, like I want you to imagine like a villain in a typical film. They've been terrorizing you your whole life, right? Or however long, we'll say the last year. They've been terrorizing you, like making sadistic video after sadistic video, trying to rally hundreds of thousands of people up to hate on you, and successfully so. They aided so much in your destruction.
Well, you've already colored it up and painted it with a bunch of bullshit, saying things like villain and rallying people to hate you, which, fuck, if you're going to use that argument, it can be thrown right back at you with your videos towards her. So it's such a moot point to make.
And then they finally are down. They're finally hurting. All these people already hate you that they rallied up. And these people are egomaniacs just like that person who rallied them up. If they're wrong, you know what they're going to do? They're going to distract from the point. They're not going to admit they're wrong. I admit I'm wrong all the time. Search from Onision on Twitter and I'm sorry. And you'll see all the times I've apologized for being wrong. I admit when I'm wrong a lot. And somebody who admits when they're wrong a lot is probably someone you can trust.
Greg, it's very easy to acknowledge wrongdoings. Problem is you keep doing the wrong things and eventually it doesn't matter how much you're aware of it. Doesn't matter that you can be honest about it. If you're unwilling to change yourself, to change it, it doesn't matter. Much like with Social Repose, you can vaguely admit to acts of wrongdoings, but when they keep piling up and you keep doing it or people keep complaining about it, what does that tell you then,
So she won't admit that she's wrong. Her audience won't admit when she's wrong. But I'm supposed to be the bigger person when you guys will still conclude I'm shit either way? No, I think, if anything, I deserve this. I deserve to be able to rant about this. I deserve to be able to say I was right this whole time and you guys were wrong and you can't change that now. Reality isn't yours to warp.
God, he will cling to any crumb he'll find and gnaw on it like a fucking rat. Again, was right about something that ultimately changes nothing, in my mind really. The outcome remains the way it is. This is just you wanting to rub more salt in the wound that already has salt on it. It's childish, it's stupid, and it doesn't make you look good. It doesn't make you look like the champion and victor that you want to come out as. Turning it around, making it about you, is the silliest shit.
It's not yours to reinvent how you like. This is the facts, man. It's done. You're done. You lose. I was right. You were wrong. And this guy is a piece of crap, just like I told you he was. I was so clear that Social Repose was total trash, and you guys insisted. You were like, no, it's just dramatic Onision. Maybe it's the boy who cried wolf, but I never cried wolf. Every single person I trash, unless I apologize for it, they were trashed for a reason. I knew what I was talking about. There are so many fake people in this world, you guys. Like, seriously, there's so many frauds. There's so many fakes. There's so many people that will just say things for the sake of you liking them. That ain't me. I'm down. Like, if you guys haven't noticed, my shit is all down. Like, on all my channels. I'm dying, okay? I have every reason to try and be friendly to you guys. I have everything to lose. And yet I still refuse. Okay? So I know it's not PC to make a video about this soon. I know it's not like what everybody thinks is decent or right. But I know what's right. I know what's right for me. I know what's right for what I believe to be true. We always preach that you should be your true self, and then we kick people when they are, you know, their true selves. When they're honest, for once. We can't handle honesty, but we demand the truth. Anyway, so the point of this video is I just wanted to establish that Jaclyn Glenn made her bed. She definitely did. Because she had warnings. She had videos from the guy she was dating warning her.
You came with your own contract and demands for your ex, Billy. That's okay. Demanding things from other people in relationships, laying out a laundry list of strict asinine rules to follow. Yeah, that's not insane. There's no red flags to be had there, huh?
Okay? He came with his own warning label. His ex-girlfriend said, this is my warning label, right, in her video. He makes a video the next day as his warning label. You didn't read the warning label, okay? If someone on the side of a gas can says flammable, okay, dangerous, right? If you dump the gas can on yourself and then you light it, the only excuse is that you can't read English, you know? You can't read the language it was written in. And why would you do that anyway? It doesn't make sense. It's a bad analogy. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because I'm still getting crapped on, you know, to this day because of the videos that they've made about me. And, you know, the transphobic things that they did towards Lainey deserves an apology for that.
Greg, you've made transphobic comments before. Like, I get it, you've reconciled with yourself and think your slate is clean, but nah, it really isn't, sorry.
My spouse, who defended this person who was transphobic towards them, deserves an apology. And Jaclyn owes, I know people hate me, but sometimes even the people you hate can be right, you know? I deserve an apology for all the lies that Jaclyn told about me. Or about herself, about her relationship, making me seem like the fraud when I knew I was right. Anyway, it's not going to happen. Justice isn't like, you know, it's more of an idealistic thing. So that's why I make my own. And I make this video, and I sleep at night happy that I've always stood up for myself. Not always. Not literally, because like sometimes you don't stand up for yourself. I can't say that. That's extreme. I most always stand up for myself, and I'm standing up for myself now. Okay?
Why would she? Seriously, why would anyone? You don't deserve it. What you deserve is a drink thrown in the face, maybe even followed up by a slap. That's what you deserve and much more. But to act like she now needs to grovel to you and be remorseful towards you in any way, shape, or form and say, I'm sorry, Greg. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't see that happening either, my friend.
So you guys don't get your sweet victory. You don't get your silence. You don't get to shit on me this whole time and then say, oh, you were right this whole time, but we're just going to say you can't talk. You can't talk now, Greg, because, you know, we can crap on you this whole time. But the moment that you get a victory, shut up. You're not allowed. That's just, it's absurd. The system is whack.
No one silenced you from talking. You've ran your mouth for fucking years, Greg. No one silenced you from saying anything. And you've definitely have shat on other people, burning bridges with them. I want this to be over, please. Wrap up your shitty video so we can go.
And you guys are part of the system. So, my conclusion, Jaclyn Glenn is not a good person. Social repose is not a good person. The fact that they did this to each other, I called it. I knew it would happen. It was just a matter of time. The guy went on tour. I literally tweeted, if you guys look at my Twitter, you just look a little ways back on my Twitter. I literally said this would happen, okay? I tweeted it. I said it. I said the guy went on tour, okay? He has a history of cheating on people while on tour. I wonder what's going to happen. And then, boom, he did it. And then Jaclyn makes a video acting like this is some amazing, unexpected thing. Anyway. Yeah, so I have the right to be angry at this person for betraying me in so many ways, and for being dishonest, and for picking the wrong side when everything was telling them, like every fact I threw at them was telling them, you should have listened. Anyway, so the only people I feel sorry for are people who are actually victims of things that they weren't warned about. Okay? Like, I'm not sorry for myself when I was warned about my ex. I was warned about my ex, you know? And I went for it anyway. I deserve that because I was warned. I chose, said, this is a risk. This has a history of hurting you, right? Or hurting people in general. Hurting people that are, you know? And it's like verified. It's not like something that people say online that this person is. Okay? Like, it's the same with me. If you date me and you lie to me, I might ask you to get a tattoo that says you're a liar for the sake of you getting back. If you ever want to get back with me, you got to prove somehow that you're not going to lie to me anymore, or that you at least fess up to what you are.
Oh yeah, that's totally saying sound logic that isn't fueled by pure emotion, is it? And that sounds so appealing, doesn't it? Never mind the fact that you're married, so you don't need to talk about dating anymore, Greg. But I'm sure Lainey at some point has lied to you. Does she have her tattoos? Maybe somewhere where we can't see. Who knows? But if she's human, she's lied. We all have. So your fucking argument goes down the drain per usual. Seriously, where's your fucking liar tattoos? Oh wait, no, Onision has never lied apparently. Bullshit. Pure bullshit straight from the tap.
That's a real thing, okay? I would ask that of myself. If I lied to someone, I would get a tattoo that says I'm a liar because it was shameful.
Then show us, liar. Where the fuck is the tattoo? Don't have it? Go get it. I'll be here waiting, you goon.
Right? If that was the terms to get back with someone and I really love them, I'm a liar. If I actually lied, it's only honest. But I live in a different world than a lot of people. A world where people say what they actually think, and they don't say what they think people want to hear. And I'm fucking hated for it. Anyway, thanks for listening to all this. To Jaclyn, I don't want to make more videos about you. I don't want to talk about you. I don't want to talk about repose. I only mentioned this because I could finally say, I told you so. And that's it. So I hope that I never have to talk about you again. And I hope that I never have to see either of your faces again, because I find you both equally unattractive. Your personalities are awful, and I don't like you on any level. Bye.
Fucking finally, God, thank you. The video is over. Don't worry, Greg. We don't like you either. Go fuck yourself. But thank God that video is over. But seriously, we all know he'll talk about them again in some way, shape, or form, whether it be for drama or what have you. He'll slither back like he always does, because it's Onision. What more do you expect from this schmuck? Like, this is the typical MO of Onision that goes on forever, and I'm sorry that this turned into another long, drawn-out video about this, but both these two guys are fucking idiots and numbskulls, hands down. And I wanted to cover both these videos because, unlike Onision in openly stating that he doesn't bother watching videos, I like doing the exact opposite and watching these goddamn things in order to respond to it. No shit, right? But in any case, both Social Repose and Onision are douchebags for the lack of empathy towards Jaclyn. And with that being said, I think I'll end my video here. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? What's your input? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I'll see all of you later in my next video.